They say that kind of pain for women who have experienced it. They say if you slap dental pain and slap delivery pain together,
Oh my God.
that was what that pain was. Like, the kind of pain that it's
Gets
like you are
into
running
you.
mad. Like, what's going on this is not what is going on with my body? It started with over anxiety over blood pressure. This was when my journey of postpartum anxiety and bouts of depression kicked in.
Wow.
I thought this one is not baby blues. You know when they say baby blues? No, this is not baby blues. And mine was so, it's like it's pounding you left. But that my brain was so cooked. I've prayed like I never prayed before. Coming out of that, it takes time for the body to heal. And the body didn't have that time to heal. I was taking care of baby again, not sleeping again. The body just went into, I've had enough. Thumbs up to all the mothers. All the mothers, hats off to you.
Yeah. Welcome back to our podcast. On today's episode, I have my friend again, Abies Adeyeri. Welcome, Abies.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
Yes. Abies is with us on episode 2, another episode with her. Abies is a wife, a mom. If you listen to the previous episode, you're going to hear everything we talked about, introducing herself. But she introduced herself to us again. She's going to be talking about everything motherhood and parenting. So without much ado about nothing, Abies.
Just glad to be back. Glad to be back.
Yes.
My name again is Abies, and I would say I'm first of all a mother, and being an immigrant from Nigeria and living now in the United States since 2008. I have had my own motherhood experiences and journey. And I must say it has taught me a lot about resilience, and I'm happy today to be able to share that, story in order to be able to encourage someone who is actually in that, in that journey as well, or in the motherhood journey as well, or about to be in the mother's journey.
Yeah. So let's start with, so Abies, when did you have your first child and what was the experience like?
Oh, wow. You see, there's something, I think, as a girl or as a woman, as a girl, your desire is to have kids. Your desire is to have children. But the truth is nobody really prepares you. Nobody really prepares you for what you would experience along the journey of motherhood. And for me, it was, I experienced the downs and the ups and who knows what. And my first child was born in 2012. That was my first, my first daughter was born in 2012. And that my first pregnancy was very hard. It was hard in the sense that, my husband then was in Nigeria and then I was here in the US and I got pregnant, came back to the US, and in between that, then I started to experience, I didn't know I had fibroid, right? I didn't know I had fibroid. In Nigeria, we don't go to hospital now, come on now. We don't go to hospital until when something, when you're really, really sick, then you now go to the hospital. So here we are in the culture of every year, at least you get an annual, once you're a certain age, you check, they do like ultrasound, all the type of physicals, ultrasound, transvaginal, whatever thing, all of those types of tests that a woman or girl should do, So when I got pregnant, 14, I think first trimester, I started to experience this severe pain, right? Severe pain. I'm like, okay, at this point, I'd already gone to my first appointment because normally once you get pregnant here, I think you wait about until you're 9 weeks or so. Then you go for your first, that's when you go to your first appointment. They do the x-ray and everything like that, ultrasound and all that for the baby and all that. So when I went in, I had just done all my work and all that. Somehow I was going through a community health center, and then I didn't know I had fibroid back then. From the result, I hadn't gone back to for them to give me my result and everything. I had an appointment ahead, but prior to my appointment, I began to experience excruciating pain. I think it was around, if I'm not wrong, maybe 12 or 14 weeks or so, I was experiencing some type of, pain. I was okay. It was going to go away. It didn't go away. So I ended up going to the emergency, and they did the test, they checked, they said, oh yeah, the baby is okay and everything like that. And then they said I should take, the only thing I could take was Tylenol. I can't remember them even telling me what really was going on. So, but when I now got home, and now that was when the other clinic now called me, and was trying to, you're supposed to come for your appointment, blah, blah, blah. When I now told them that, hey, I was in the ER and this was what I was experiencing. And the lady on the phone now said, oh, your report, your last ultrasound report and all that stuff shows you had fibroids. So I was taken aback. Fibroid, back in Nigeria, when you hear those kind of words, it's like, oh my God, that's
sentence.
What is that? Fibroid? Like, I was so taken aback. Like, what's that, So anyway, that was the journey of my fibroid situation. So, and then I started to, because of the fibroid situation, there were multiple times, like 3 times I had episodes. Episode meaning excruciating pain that lasted more than 5 days. Wow. And the only thing they were telling me to take was Tylenol. I'm like, at some point, I almost emptied an entire, this container of Tylenol, when you buy the Tylenol, this, I don't know how many is inside, just that container. I finished it only God knows, maybe in less than a week or 2 weeks.
Wow.
Because the pain was excruciating. They say that kind of pain, for women who have experienced it, they say if you slap dental pain and slap delivery pain together,
oh my God,
that was what that pain was. Wow. The kind of pain that it's like you are running mad. And I was just there every day. There's really nothing they could do. Like some of my lady friend, I spoke with another person that experienced it, was like, at some point they gave her some, I can't remember whether it's codeine, some type of stronger pain medication. But for some reason, this health center that I was going to, were like, they didn't want to give me anything more than Tylenol, because of course they don't want anything, transferring to the baby and all that stuff. So I had to bear the pain, but still maintain taking that Tylenol, because I don't want the pain to go beyond the point where it will not begin to cause contraction. Right? So I was swallowing Tylenol, just hoping that the pain by itself would go. And what was causing this? So when you have fibroid, basically this fibroid is taking oxygen, taking all what the baby would, it's taking space where the baby would take. At some point when I would touch my stomach, I think maybe that's my baby. That's not my baby. That's like the fibroid.
So it's growing with the baby.
Yes, it was because of all the hormones and everything like that. So as the baby is growing, the thing is growing. So you get to the point where the baby is now actually growing beyond it, and then it's shrinking. It's no longer getting enough blood fluoride, oxygen or blood supply. Then the fibroid begins to die out. In that sense, it now causes, this is degeneration or whatever. I hope I'm right with that word. But that causes the pain to begin to take effect, because
so it's even the fibroid dying.
Yes, it's no longer getting enough oxygen to thrive, to become, And then when that happens, I get that pain. Okay. And it lasts 5 days. The last one lasted almost 9 days. I didn't know what to do with myself. I will go in the bathtub.
And you were here by yourself.
I was here by
myself.
Myself. With of course, my roommate, she has a job. Everybody, she's going to a job. Yeah. And the good thing was I was not working. I literally just quit my job because there was no way. There was no way. And so that happened. And then, of course, I was doing multiple ultrasound in between in order to be able to, for the doctors to check, make sure the fibroid isn't in the way of the baby, it's not causing the baby not to grow, not the way the baby, because it could actually block the baby from growing and, cause some type of complications. So because of that, I usually do extra ultrasounds. Okay. So, and that was how it was. And then, of course, being a first-time mom, my baby was 40 plus. She stayed 40 plus 4. 40. So she went over 40 weeks. So by the time it was, they already were scheduling me to come in to have some type of induction to induce me. They said, you know what? If this baby doesn't come, we'll give you another 1 week since this is your first pregnancy. But if this baby doesn't come, we're gonna, we're scheduling an appointment that on Sunday you're gonna come in, and then we're gonna induce you and all that. So I said, okay. So my dear sweet friend Eki, shout out to Eki. He was like, let's go to the mall. We'll take a walk around the mall. Just, let's stimulate this baby to come. And when I was taking the walk, I began to experience some type of, liquid.
Water.
Yes. Liquid, some flow water. It looks like water, but it's not like gushing water. But ignorant me, I didn't know that this was my amniotic fluid already coming out. So by the time on the 4th day, because they gave me 7 days, by the day 4 of the 7 days when I was supposed to go in to be induced, I started to see like blood, whatever. So at that point, I now called the hospital. I drove myself to the ER. And then went in. When I went in, they were checking. And then the nurse, I saw the thing on their face, like, so what's going on? They said, were you seeing any water, whatever thing? I'm like, yeah, I was seeing it. I didn't really say, oh my God. Like, yeah. They started to induce. They started to, give me antibiotics. As soon as my baby came out, she was in the NICU for 10 days.
Wow. Why?
Yes.
Because
Yes, because they said they were trying to also make sure that she was not infection. Yeah, because that's your immunity fluid going out. The level, because of course, I was always going for appointment.
Yes.
So the level was, when they compared the level, say I went in today, and then 4 days later, that was when I went into the hospital myself to get the baby, because I saw the blood and everything. They compared my last amniotic fluid check versus this one. They noticed a drastic drop. So that was when they now say, wait, were you seeing any type of water leakage, whatever? I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh my God. Like, yeah. It was like, we need to get this baby out. You need to. So they induced me, and by God's grace, my baby came out. She was okay, but they had to keep her in the NICU. I got discharged, but my baby was in the hospital. Oh, wow. So I got discharged, and then I had to face the other aspect of motherhood. Thumbs up to all the mothers. All the mothers, hats off to you.
Yes.
What we go through. What we go through. Just the entire birth situation and everything. It is beyond words.
Wow.
It is beyond words.
So did you give birth to her naturally?
Yes. So I gave birth to her naturally. And then when I had her, then she now had to be in the ER. But guess what? All the things that comes up after you had the baby.
Yes.
And then I had you have to start to produce milk and all that. It didn't, you don't produce milk immediately. It takes time.
No one tells you that.
Nobody tells you that. But some people, maybe some women are lucky that, they just start to produce milk. My baby did not latch.
Oh, wow.
All 3 of them, they didn't latch immediately. And so the hospital, we have amazing medical facilities here in the US that are very caring. The nurses, the doctor, everybody's so caring. They bring the breast machine, and then you start to try to stimulate, to try to bring, produce milk. And all of that led into me having like this, I don't know what the name was. I've forgotten the name. Where your boobs, it becomes like stone. Because all the milk you're trying to compress, to extract is just stuck there because you're a first time mom. So I'm using eyes. Oh my God, the pain. The pain. Oh my God. Oh my God.
So
crazy.
You were here by yourself. Did you have anyone come help you?
The good thing was, when I say God, I thank you, was because my baby at this point was still in the hospital.
Okay.
And I'm dealing with this. Assuming I brought that baby home with me.
Hey, God.
Going through that whole thing. Oh, Lord of mercy. So I then finally went through that. After some few days, it goes, because then the milk begins to flow naturally and flow, and then the baby is able to latch and everything like that. You go through all of that. And then of course I had my feet. I had like serious swollen feet.
Wow.
My feet was so swollen that, every other, for me, when I went in the nurse was like, oh, it's okay. Just make sure you just lift your leg up. It's going to go in like a week or 2. Do you know my feet was swollen for more than 5 months? I didn't wear normal shoes. Seriously speaking, I didn't wear shoes normally until 1 year. Until 1 year later. I'm like, will this thing ever go back to normal? My feet was swollen. So so that was my initiation
into motherhood.
And then you now talk about raising the kids and just trying to walk, provide for the kid, and then yourself, and then, the whole 9 yard.
Yes.
It was an experience.
Doing it all by yourself.
And doing it, yes.
You were still very young,
yes.
in your 20s.
No, I was in my early 30s. I had that when I was 31.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes,
Wow.
yes.
And you didn't have nobody from your family. It was just you and the baby.
There was
and your
nobody.
You were working. So what did you do? Put her in daycare, go to work?
So the good thing was with my first, I didn't go back looking for work until she was a year and she was about a year and 3 months or so.
Okay.
That's when I went back to work. She was 9 months. Let me not say. She was 9 months old when I went back, started looking for work and went back to work.
Okay.
And then at that point, I had to look for home care, which is true, of course, family, good friends who were home raising their kids, and then I can have her there and then just pay something for them to watch her. And then I went to work but comfortable place with known trusted people. Yes,
right,
trusted people.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then for your second, your husband came and...
So for my second, my husband had come. And then although he was going back and forth, he was here, right? And my second was really pretty much not it wasn't my prayer, because she came at 5 years after my first. So at that point, and my one prayer was I was just praying to God, I don't want to go through the fibroid thing.
Yes.
It was, I'm not talking about even the morning sickness. Like I had my own morning sickness that was I was spitting for 3 months non-stop. The first trimester, the whole of first trimester. I was constantly speeding. The only time I wasn't speeding was when I was either I was eating or I was sleeping. Or even when I was talking, I had my little container somewhere. Pardon me if it is gross. But hey, that was the journey. So my prayer was when I was walking I was walking with my second, and in fact by the time I went in for one of the checks, the doctor was like, your baby is bigger than her normal for that number of weeks. She's bigger. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, come on now. I had to eat. I had to constantly put something in my mouth so that I don't have to spit. Constantly eating something so I don't have to spit when I'm at work. Yeah. So come on. So you see, in America, right? This is one thing. I hope that they would have been that they would do way better. I know depending on what kind of maybe some people have good companies that have good not just insurance, motherhood during when you're going through the season, that kind of care. But majority, the system is such that there is a mother gives birth today, 6 weeks time, you're already going back to work. True. 8 weeks time, you're already going back to work. It's a lot. It's a lot. And that's something that I hope that they would change in the system. I hear in somewhere like Canada, when you have your baby, you're with your baby 1 year and you're still getting paid. America is not like that. Except you're maybe working with a job. And even if you're working in a company, then maybe they will maybe pay a certain amount up to a certain point. But after that, you're pretty much on your own. So like my second baby, I happened to be working in my company where at least they gave me, I think it's 65% of my pay. Okay, so like
short-term disability.
Right. 60, I think 60, between 60 to 70%, let me put it that way, of my pay was given to me for 6 weeks if you have a natural death, and 8 weeks if you have a C-section.
C-section, okay. That's small.
That's small, right? So, and then they are only by law allowed to keep your job for you for 3 months. Oh, God. That's short-term disability. That's called FMLA. Okay. You can only family medical leave something. I can't remember the full name now. That's FMLA. The company by law has to keep your job for you for 3 months, right? Now, for my third, but when it comes to FMLA, it doesn't give you money. Doesn't give you, just telling the job by law, make sure you keep the job for them. But some country like Canada, it's like 1 year or something, right? So, and then in that 3 months, not every mother is able to take that chance.
Yeah, 3 months is
3
a short
months
time.
is short.
There's still postnatal,
Right,
all those
right.
things.
But I'm still saying now that not every mom or family is able to even go out of work for 3 months. They have to quickly return because the pay. Because there's the pay, right? So you have 6 weeks. A company that, God bless this company, paying you 60 to 70% of your paycheck for that 6 weeks. And then if you have any accrued vacation that you have left, then you can use it to add. But at the end of the day, it's not going to cover 6 months. It's not going to cover 3 months.
3 months, yeah.
So you see some people coming back. I actually had a former co-worker who came back after 6 weeks. I'm like, girl, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's
so
terrible. It's terrible.
Didn't have like maternity leave.
The maternity leave is the FMLA.
No, but I thought maternity, when you're maternity leave, they should be paying your full salary.
No.
Then when the maternity leave is done, then they can now downgrade you to the like short-term disability where they pay you 65%.
Your company does that?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Leave, there's bonding leave.
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that's
But
good.
it's just for like maybe 2 weeks or 2 months or 3 months. I don't know.
2 3 months. That's what I'm saying. It depends on the company that you work for. But most companies
in America,
I think Hillary Clinton, when she was running, was trying to do something, was running on one of those, type of thing, Why you have
really
it's even the 3 months is not even enough. I'm going to explain that why, because of my third baby.
Third child. Okay, let's move to the third.
Right.
So with the second kid, everything.
Yeah.
Was
So
good.
with the second kid, there was the fibroid was there. I was always going for double, check, double appointment. Maybe if you don't have fibroid like I did, maybe ultrasound you would do maybe throughout the pregnancy, maybe 3 or 4. Me was like, in fact, last trimester I was doing every 2 weeks, one every 2 weeks, so it was a lot,
Was it the same kind of pain you experienced? With the
no, which was great. In fact, the lady doing my ultrasound, doing the ultrasound was like, it's like popcorn. I'm like, it's like popcorn. Like I had so many little ones that she's calling it like, it's like popcorn. I'm like, okay, but I'm here. But I'm here. So, and then I have like the big ones and the little ones. But I'm just here to say that, we women, we go through so much, a lot. And that is not, it's beyond what we go through, what the human body, our body goes through at that in the point of trying to conceive a child and have a child. And the need for support, it's vital and important. Vital and important. Yeah. So my third baby, before my third baby, I had a miscarriage. I had a miscarriage. Yeah, but it was at 7 weeks or so. I had a miscarriage. And then of course, after that miscarriage, I now had my baby. I was, had my little one. And that was the one that like really shook me, because it was an experience like no other experience.
Yeah, I remember we had just finished it was COVID period.
Yes, it was during COVID. Yeah,
finished
2021.
Virtual baby shower.
Yeah.
And the baby was supposed to come like in February.
The baby was supposed to come in January.
I was like, we even chose names and all that. Next thing, I think it was 2 days later.
A few days later,
the husband like texted us like, "Hey, Abies is in the labor room." We're like, "What?"
So with my third, I experienced what they call preeclampsia. Right, so it's I don't know if medically they know what causes it, but your blood pressure just goes way high. It's hormonal, right? It's hormonal, and at that point, I was not expecting to go through. I mean, I know about preeclampsia. I've heard about, of course, when you're pregnant, you go for your appointment, which that's another story. Gosh, America and their medical system. Oh my God, they freak you out. They freak you out of your mind. Like, come on now. So in after my, I think that was the year, going through a lot. I was working at the same time. You have 2 other children, you have a full-time job, you're juggling all of this at the same time. And at 34 weeks or so, I experienced what they call that preeclampsia. I didn't even know it was what was going on. Let me explain what I mean. So, because normally when they say you have preeclampsia, they will check you, either your hands and feet are swollen. You have some, your majorly hands and feet are swollen. Those are the side signs, right? So, but in my case, few weeks before, like about 2 weeks before, I experienced like my eyes, in my eyes, I'll just be feeling hurt. Was feeling like I'm feeling hurt, and then I'll be putting like eyes on my eyes, but there was no swollenness. So I told it to my OBG. It's like, maybe it's one of, if you're having like mild headache, those are things that are normal, common stuff that you experience and all that. So it just we didn't really read anything. There was no swelling anywhere, so it wasn't like, there was that sign. So went about my business, and then one morning, early in the morning, with this thing it wasn't going away, right? But I was just taking Tylenol, and, it's one of those things, until this very day in the morning, I woke up, I'm like, the way I was feeling, I was like, becoming like I was not understanding, like I was trying, like, how will I put it now? I was going out of it, right? So I told my husband, I need to go take me to the ER, take it to the ER. So by the time we were getting to the ER, at that point, my other 2 he was trying to go to school. We all entered the car, we're going to the ER. By the time I got to the ER, I just couldn't remember. I was like, it's like your brain was trying to remember, your brain was trying to have cognition. It's not, so I was like, in that state. So the nurses were now like, you know what? What's your doctor's number? What's your OBG's number? Your OBG's name? So I was trying so hard to recall what my OBG's name was, and I blotted it out. That was all I remembered. I went out.
Wow.
I went out. I don't know if I came out of it until maybe like 2 days or so later that I, woke up. A lot happened. They had to emergency C-section the baby out. She was in the NICU, and it was a really, it was a terrifying experience. I was having hallucination. I would be laying on the bed feeling like I'm floating. I couldn't walk because I was bringing therapists to teach. I was now learning how to walk again. It was a lot of things going on. And then, of course, I had the stroke. They said it's a minor, the preeclampsia caused the stroke. Right. It caused it. Everything was just preeclampsia. If one of the doctors says, don't worry, you're going to be okay. My wife experienced this type of thing. And then, of course, because of the stroke, the high, whatever, it was just a minor swelling at the back of my head. And that area is the area that controls the eye.
Okay.
When we went to the museum and we saw, I was like fascinated about the brain and everything like that. So that was the area that affected the area that controls the eye, right? And because of that little swollenness, I was blurred. It was like, I'm not blind, but I couldn't see clearly. Vision was very, very blurry. And it was like, I don't know, it was like you're looking into a prism. If this prism, it's, everything is looking,
Okay, kaleidoscope.
Yeah. So it was the whole experience at the hospital that.
Wow. And so because of that stroke as well, your like mobility.
So it was, I don't know what was the cause of that, my ability. Maybe it was over medication. Because a lot of medication, they tried to, in fact, all the nurses were like, you're lucky. Like you're really, really lucky. Like this thing kills women. This thing kills, I was out of it. My husband sometimes was like, I was not even recognizing him. I was just ratty, like, it was a traumatic experience. I had a colleague of mine from work who came and said, oh my God, when he came to see me at the hospital, I was saying, when he was telling me later, I was like, his mind was like, oh God, I hope this lady I hope she will come out and be able to recognize things, because yeah, it was a terrifying and a very, very, it was a deep moment
Child. And you couldn't even see your baby. Like
I couldn't. I
they
didn't see
were
her.
just trying to revive you and like
See baby care.
yeah, trying to.
I was not even like I didn't even see my baby until like about 6 days later.
Wow.
That was when they had to wheel me on a wheelchair because I still couldn't. I couldn't walk like that. They had to wheel me to go. I went to see my baby and came back. It was a really, really trying moment, and I thought that was okay. Yeah, I'm done with the hospital. When I was discharged after, I was there for like either 13 or 16 days.
13 or 16 days. Wow.
About almost 2 weeks. I was in there. Yeah, almost 2 weeks, and and we got discharged, and then the baby came home a day before I came home. Okay. You know.
Sorry, Abies, sorry to call you short. But is there any other signs you can give to people watching, like about that preeclampsia? Because you said swollen feet, swollen hand, but you didn't experience it.
I didn't experience it. I didn't. Mine, I was just experiencing just pain in my eyes, and it was usually in the evening.
In the evening, okay.
That was just my major experience. Right now, I was on medication for blood pressure.
Okay. Right,
but of course, that one did not do any whatever. So it's not like anybody can have. In fact, preeclampsia doesn't only happen before pregnancy. Preeclampsia can happen after you've had the baby. Oh, yes. Okay. Preeclampsia can also happen after you have had the baby. So it's just hormones. Like I can't really pinpoint. Okay, but it's good to rest. It's good to not stress, relax, and everything like that. That helps. But I wouldn't really say. This is follow this 1, 2, 3, but just make sure you go with your appointment and everything like that, and I would say hope for the best, Yeah. And the most thing is just try the best to rest. Rest, don't overstress. But again, we are in a country where as a pregnant woman, you are going to work. My second baby, I was walking. In fact, people were looking at, I walked. I was going to have the baby 2 days. Let's say today is a Friday. I was going to go in and have the baby on Sunday. I was at work on Friday. Oh, wow.
No, they have to change this policy of, maternity.
Exactly. Not just companies, not just the companies who can afford to do it, but every company needs to have federally too. They have to have it. Now you wonder why people don't want to have babies. No, they don't want to look at the whole challenge.
That's true. It's a lot of stress.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And the economy isn't fantastic where you say, okay, you know what?
Don't work.
You don't work.
You have to work.
You're going to have to feed the baby. You're going to have to feed the children. You're going to have to take care of things. The bill isn't going to be waiting and telling you, you already know.
So you have to pay your bill.
Yes.
So what happens after you got back home?
So after I got back home, here came, and then we were blessed to have my husband's aunt come. She came in, and before she came in, she came in and was able to help out, but she had to go back. I think after a month, she had to go back because she had certain things she needed to sort out, but she was going to come back. So that 1 month after she left, the 2 days after she left, I was back in the hospital.
Oh wow! Oh no!
Why? Because lack of sleep deprivation. And of course, my husband was working during the day. And by the time he comes, during the night, the baby is also, wimping through and she's not sleeping through the night. 2 hours, she wake up, 1 hour, she wake up, So that was the challenge. And then I personally now, 2 days after she left, I was not now, I wasn't sleeping. Because I was now, because when she was there supporting and helping, which is why support is very important. And in this part of the world, it's hard to find now, because if it was in Nigeria now, you have one sister, one auntie, one cousin that would come and take the baby, but in this part of the world, you're on your own. And it's between you and your spouse trying to manage it together, And so when I landed back in the hospital this time around, my BP was like way up. And I remember feeling that way. And of course, the trauma I just went through in the hospital. And somewhere in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, let me not go and get a stroke again. Let me not go and, and all that. So while I was feeling that way, I was going to pick up my daughter from school. Like, let me quickly pick them up from school because your body will tell you that something isn't, it's kind of off. So I said, you know what, the way I'm feeling, I don't really like the way I'm feeling. I knew something wasn't, my body wasn't. So I said, you know what, let me quickly go pick up my daughters from school. Then I can, go to the hospital. I'll drive to my doctor's office and something like that. No, before then, I was discharged with a medication, a blood pressure medication, right? So, and that medication was causing me also insomnia. Most of this medication, a lot of medication have side effects, right? So one of the side effects for that particular medication was that it was actually also causing me insomnia.
So you can't even
So I was not even able to sleep on top of the fact that the baby is not sleeping.
Yes.
I'm waking up in between trying to cut. Medicine is still not making. So I now called my doctor's office and say, hey, I am wanting a swap for this medication. But before that could happen, that was when the situation happened. So I was going to just pick up my daughter from school because I've not been sleeping. You see, when you talk about sleep deprivation, oh my gosh. So by the time I picked up, I was going to pick them up from school. As soon as I was getting to the school, at this point, I was feeling like one part of my head is so that anxiety, everything was like, am I going to get a stroke? Am I going to get a stroke? So I quickly just packed there and I called my cousin, my auntie, God bless her. She's going to be with the Lord. She, my auntie that I stayed with, she was there, my cousin. And I called them, one of my cousins said, you know what, just park in the school there, I'm coming. So I parked the car there and called 911. That's how paramedic picked me up from my kids' school. Head to the ER. In fact, it was blood pressure like 240 something or something like that. But they were now checking me. Are you able to see it? Just testing for whether I'm catching stroke. But they know it was not stroke. Just blood pressure, stress, lack of sleep, with no help. With no help.
It's a real thing.
Yes.
It's a real thing.
So that's how I landed back in the hospital. By the time I was being discharged from that hospital, these people were discharging me with almost 4 medication for blood pressure. In fact, when I came out, my primary was like, why would they even load you with that kind of because you're in there, there's also anxiety going on, white coat going on, hormones are all, So it was too much over medication. And one of them causing me not to sleep. The other one causing me back pain. The other one causing me neck pain. And I still have a baby to take. I was just a mess. I'm too young.
Oh my God.
I was a mess.
And no help.
No help.
God.
At this point was when I was just crying to God. I was like, God, what is all this? So for 2 weeks, when I just got back from the hospital, my aunt was helping me with the baby, my cousin were there. And then after 2 weeks, I had to come back with the baby at home. And so at one of those incidents was when I had these, I was praying to God in my lowest of low at that point.
Yeah.
And I said to God, God, and this is my own personal experience. A scripture was impressed in my heart. I opened that scripture and I read the scripture. It was in James chapter 2:22, talking about your faith and your works and something like that. And your faith was made complete by what they did. I said, Lord, I have faith. This is not a matter of faith now. What should I do? As I was pacing, my phone rang. True story. My phone rang and it happened to be a family friend who I just spoke with because I was looking for somebody to help me. I was calling, do you have anybody who can help me babysit, because I need to sleep.
Yes.
And so she called and said, oh, my husband is on the call. And I said, wow, okay. So I spoke to the husband. The husband happened to be a pharmacist. And also like a natural, somebody that will help you naturally with the way to. Yeah. So and then I told him all the medication I was taking. In fact, he was like, no, why did they give you this medicine and that medicine? And me, by myself, I was doing my own research. I was saying, for me, to be honest, you are your own doctor too.
True.
You're on your own doctor as well.
Advocate.
Right. So that was where my own personal, not because I was a foodie person before or anything like that. That was where my own personal health journey started. He was said, what should I do? Was what I asked the Lord at that point in my lowest time. And my phone rang and this man was on the other line.
Wow. What were the odds?
What were
God
the
just
odds?
orchestrated in.
That's why I say, in your lowest of low,
Call on God, He will hear.
God hears. He's a loving Father. Away from the noise, He hears. So when he now began to tell me, this medicine, you're going to go to the doctor, tell him that you no longer want to take this one. You want to. So that is how I began to
win off
all those medication. Win off, till I win off all the medication. And guess what? I had my cholesterol was a little bit on the, not that it was crazy high that I needed medicine, but because of this health walk, he was telling me, don't eat this, don't eat that, don't eat this. Not that I was eating anyhow before, but a more stringent. Diet. When you say the body has a way it can heal itself if you do the right thing with your body. And that's how I began to walk in the morning. I would take a walk and all that. But guess what? The trauma, the body, the Bible, they say, not the Bible now, they say the body keeps scores. The body keeps the scores. I was not the next step of the season, the next step of the season, me, I was like, okay, wow, everything is now. And then guess what? My auntie-in-law came back. Glory be to God. She came back. And then she was with us for another 2 months. And then by the time this time, FMLA is 3 months. I was supposed to go back after 3 months. I had to, my company has what they call personal leave of absence without pay. You can take a month without pay. So I now requested that. So I was now home again for another 1 month because my body was not there. At this point, my auntie-in-law has gone back. Me and the kids again. No help. This was when my journey of postpartum anxiety and bouts of depression kicked in.
Wow.
I thought this one is not baby blues. You know when they say baby blues? No, this is not baby blues. This one was full-blown postpartum anxiety.
What was it like? What drove you? Like what?
What triggered that was also poor sleep. When you've gone consistently without good sleep for a long time, the brain is not getting sufficient sleep. It can trigger it. And then, of course, you've gone through a traumatic birth. Was in the hospital. You know, all that happened in the hospital. All of those situations. I went through hallucination. I went through, it was horrible what the body went through. Trauma. Coming out of that, it takes time for the body to heal. And the body didn't have that time to heal. I was taking care of baby again, not sleeping again. The body just went into, I've had enough situation.
And this had nothing to do with your faith. It wasn't.
Has got nothing to do with faith. Has got nothing to do with your faith. See, it's got nothing to do with your faith. And I'm going to say why, because there's so many misconceptions about, this person has anxiety or this person anxiety. Don't always think, no, that is not, when they say anxiety, it's not, has got nothing to do with you thinking too much or whatever. It's a medical thing.
Condition,
It can be people, traumatic experiences could cause you to have anxiety, And so what happened with me was, one of those nights after no sleep. And for the life of me, this my special third baby was the baby that wasn't sleeping at night. She wasn't. Every 2 hours, she's waking up. And the time you want to sleep, so the brain was so deprived of sleep. Unlike one of the therapists says your the circadian rhythm was completely off. Completely off. I wasn't sleeping, sleep deprivation, and then of course the whole 9 yard. That was when I started. I thought this was going to be something I would deal with 1 month ago.
How many years?
2.5 years plus.
2.5 years after you gave birth to your baby.
Yes.
Whoa.
There's no online thing.
Resources.
I didn't research.
Wow.
So at initial stage, I didn't know what was going on with me. Like, what's going on? This is not what is going on with my body? It started with over anxiety over blood pressure. You know why? People have white coat syndrome. Mine was like, because of the whole trauma, blah, 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 your brain is so absorbed, blah, 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 blah. You see a blood pressure machine, your body is shaking. Your mind, it's not you now. Your brain just goes on override, drives itself, right? And of course, all of that whole 9-yard hospital experience, the whole trauma, everything now came. You know, when somebody says somebody was abused as a child or had a traumatic, then in your adulthood, you begin to experience those side effects. So my body was not, it was trying to heal, but took longer. Why did it take long? It took long because there was no support system. If you have a good support system, it's easy. It's not that it's easy. It makes it quicker. So when I was going through what I was going through, trying to find out what really was going on, because at this point in time, I now began to experience what they call intrusive thoughts. Intrusive thoughts. This is good. I don't want to say it out because somebody may watch this video who is
negative thoughts.
Yeah, no, negative. I don't want to say that what that thought, my intrusive thought were, because I try to be cautious about who is going to watch this video. Maybe that person is experiencing that, because they will always say, like when I went to the PSI, I had to, one of the therapists referred me to an organization called PSI, Postpartum Support International, where, to be honest, at that point, I thought I was the only one going through, because it's a situation, it's something that you cannot open your mouth to tell somebody that this is the kind of thing that is running in your head.
When you say intrusive thoughts, you mean like negative, bad thoughts
it's
about
it's
what
negative.
you can do to yourself or to
somebody else,
okay.
to your baby, or to you.
Wow.
And mine was so, it's like it's pounding you left, but that my brain was so cooked. I've prayed like I never prayed before. But what was going to solve this matter with all the 3 therapists I went to? The first therapist was just like general. The next one was more, she understood. She was the one that actually told me what I was going through. You're going through postpartum anxiety. And some people, I didn't get the depression part, but little bout of it, because my brain, my body, I can't put it into words. It was like I was in a hole. If you have, as women who have experienced it it's like I'm in this deep hole, trying to crawl, like everything was dug. And yet I had to walk. Yet I had to wake up in the morning and take care of a child. Yet I have to be there as a mother. I like walking, just act.
Did going to therapy help you at all?
Oh, so yes, therapy did help. In fact, if not for therapy, I don't think I would have probably known what was going on with me. You understand? So I went through BetterHelp first. That was the first therapy that I did. Was a wonderful male doctor that I used. Was very, very, very good. But he was not the specializing in postpartum. Because, at some point I was like, this is no, he wasn't really, I don't know. I'm not going to say he wasn't really getting it. Overall, generally, when it comes to the blood pressure, anxiety and everything like that, he was the one that explained the whole brain, the way the brain works as long as that. So that gives me a lot of, peace and calmness. And then, of course, with the, then I went in to use another lady who is based off in California. She was the one that now told me, this is what you're experiencing.
I see. So he helped you put a name to it.
Exactly. And the first thing we want to know is to put a name to something.
Yes.
What am I going through? Right? And then she said, this is what you're going through. And there is no timeline in which this will go away. Every woman is different. Every every human body is different, right? But there are certain steps you will take, right? That you need to take in order to be able to, get better and, feel better and all that. One of them is rest. You have to try to rest. You have to exercise. Exercise doesn't have to be rigorous exercise. Wake up in the morning, take the sun, take a little walk around, take the sun. And then, of course, rest. Eat well and sleep.
But guess what? Where was I going to get that sleep? How was I going to get the sleep? You understand what I'm saying? How was I going to get the sleep?
With a newborn baby.
With a little baby. And my baby, again, I said to you, she was that one special baby that was not, some people say, at 6 months, my baby can sleep throughout the night. No, not my baby. She was still waking up in between. And at this point in time, because my body has gone so long without sleep, it's like you have to reset your own sleep rhythm all over again. That takes some time. You have to go to bed. And there was a time I couldn't go to sleep without taking a sleep medicine. Trust me, there's no one I didn't try. And I didn't want my body to now get used to it. But they say, okay, use the natural one, the melatonin and all that. There was not, I would try that. My brain would just shut up because over time, my body was now, it's shutting off sleep every 2 hours. So my body is trying to reset itself. That was the journey.
Wow.
So at this point, I was already having like brain fog, intense deep deprivation. And so sleep, there were times when I was saying, God, please, just give me sleep tonight. So when somebody says they are going through insomnia, trust me, I know what they're talking about.
Wow. I know my brother went through it at some point, and he will always be complaining to anyone that cares listening. You guys are not understanding me. I'm not sleeping. I can't sleep at night. And honestly, I didn't understand it, but it's hard.
That was how it was for me.
Wow.
I just wanted a situation whereby I could just close my eyes and sleep and not want my baby jump on my bed or want my mommy, you understand? And there was, again, my husband is working during the day. I'm by myself. Then he comes at night. Okay, you hold the baby, but of course, baby is crying. You will hear when the baby is crying, it wake you up. So I was not getting that enough sleep. But what I was doing, I was now eating right, because at this point, I'm eating right. I'm going,
Exercising.
My morning walk, was playing a role. And then I was going out to take this on meditation. That I think they say you don't hear God until you are in a deep hole, kind of. I was hearing God more clearly. Because when you are in a situation whereby it is you know that the only reason why you're breathing and living is Him, that the only reason that you can even is Him, it was me and God. So that was taking me through step by step every day, and I began to and what I would say to moms is this whole thing kind of was a change in because if you go through this, it makes you review life again. You review your life again in more depth and look at what is really important. What is really important. So that was my turning point moment, because at this point, I was trying at that point, I said to my husband, I said, this is what I'm going through. He was not understanding what I was going through. And so at one of the therapists I told you, sent me and say, you know what? You need to go and go to PSI, it's Postpartum Support International. It's a website, it's a group. It's an institute, it's an organization that sheds light into what postpartum related issues. A lot of women are going through so much postpartum wise. The ones that they cannot even talk about. So when I went and I signed up, I went to one of the women forum. It's free. And there I was listening to other women just like me going through. You think you are the only one going through something until you hear somebody else's story. Women literally crying, the lack of support too. No help, the lack of sleep, the whole thing, and the emotional thing that triggers the whole hormones and everything. And that was a forum where people could just openly share. You can cry if you want to cry. You can, and that was one of the things that helped me to realize that, wait a minute, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
There's somebody else going through the same thing just like I'm going through. Because the first thing I was saying, because when you come from you've been taught so much wrong theology. When you talk about anxiety, you can't open your mouth to say I'm having anxiety, or I'm feeling depressed. They just go, you're having demon. This is demon. This is you need demon deliverance.
Or you don't have enough.
You don't
faith.
have enough faith. You should pray more. These are real issues. And the first thing I began to think, I said, wait, why is it okay if I'm having demon happening to me right now, why is it that it's every woman who have had a baby that is going through the same thing experience? So do they all have demons? Do they all need deliverance? That was when I began to you know what? There needs to be a balance.
And like you said, that was what led into the journey of deconstructing your faith.
That was what led me to deconstructing my faith and all this wrong teaching and wrong theology.
I will have another episode. That will be an episode on its own.
And all the teachings and all the thought that you feel as a Christian, you shouldn't be able to go through certain things in life, that everything should just be all good, positive. If there's something is wrong with you, you need to there's a way you talk about, faith. You need to put faith. Faith is one thing that you need to just,
But from your story, from when we've shared personally, it seemed like God gave you the grace to bear through this. Just like I reminded me of Paul, where he says, God says, my grace is sufficient for you.
And that was one of the things that, in all of that, in my low moments, in those moments when I would cry, trust me, there were many days I cried. There were many, many days. If you speak to a woman who's gone through this, it's a hell. There were many days I cried. I would still wipe my tears and stand up and keep moving on. I will say to God, and in those moments, I will hear, I'm with you. And you know what made me now think? I say, wait, I confidently hear him say he's with me. Why isn't he taking it away? Why am I not, why is it not healed? Why I should be healed right now?
Yeah.
But you know what? I learned that when God says my grace is sufficient, that at a point in time in this journey, I told you, I thought this was going to be like 2 months, it will go away, 3 months.
2.5 years.
2.5 years plus. I was still having the residue of it. If I don't sleep sometimes, at some point in time, if I don't sleep, it just triggers.
Those intrusive thoughts.
Intrusive thoughts, like my brain would be fogged,
And you were still working.
And I was still working.
All through this happening.
Working mentally.
People should learn to be kind to their colleagues
because you don't know what they are going through. Yeah. And I work in a fantastic company with good human beings. They are great human beings. Great human beings.
Wow.
So that was what led me to now begin to, I began to put 2 and 2 together. You understand? Understand this human brain, this whole thing. It's not me that is, where is it coming from? All those kind of deep questions that you ask. Why is somebody, it begins to make you become more empathetic towards people. Somebody has not opened their mouth. Go and pray. Have faith. Go and read the word of God. Word of God. Word of God. And we fail to understand that the human body itself is an organ in itself that can be sick. And so the word when in all of this, one of the things that kept me going was there was this scripture that I've always held dear. I've gone through challenges in my life. Trust me, growing up, my childhood, everything like that. There's this scripture that has always been something I hold so dear. And this is a scripture that says all things work together for good to them that love God. So I knew at that point in time that
there has to be a purpose to this.
Anything that happens to you as a Christian, good, bad, ugly, it's all for your good. It's all for your good. And this whole notion that, you know what, nothing bad is going to ever happen to you because you're a Christian.
Well said. Wow. This has been an exciting episode. I feel like it's going to be 2 parts, of course. So we talked initially about your story to motherhood, and then now we're talking about the Christian faith and how it's had impact.
And for as just as from my own experience and what helped me as a mom, right? Like I said, very important. Make time for yourself. Make time. It may be hard. Sometimes you may have to force it. I'm not like you take a, sometimes forcing it means you deliberately make time for you. Even
and
if
don't
it's
feel
that,
guilty about it.
And even if it's that 30 minutes in the morning or even on a weekend, maybe your husband is home. Say, hey, can you hold the kids? Go to a park, just you, yourself and I. Stay if you live by a beach area or you live by a hiking, go hiking with other moms or something. Just be yourself, yourself and I. Have time for you. Have time for you because, man, raising kids, you could go crazy.
I know.
You could go crazy. Trust me. But make time for you. Please make time for you. Make time for you. You're special, beautiful, amazing, strong. Make time for you, mamas. Make time for you.
Make time for you. You've heard it. You've heard it all.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about parenting, but maybe on another episode we'll have another virtual episode. But wow, Abies. Thank you so much. Like through the rigors, the behind the scenes to this episode is something else, but we've made it to the end. We made it. Thank you so much, Abies. Do you have any final words before I draw the curtain? Oh.
My final words is love God and love your neighbor. Love your neighbor, regardless of what their ethnicity is, their greed is, whatever it is. Love your neighbor, and be that light of love and compassion in this world where it seems to be, hard to find. Just be that example and be that shine in your little way. That's all I have to say.
Oh, baby. Thank you so much, Abies. Do you want to say bye-bye to our audience? Do you want to sign out for us? Okay.
Hi, everyone. Like and subscribe. Subscribe 10 million times.
Thank you. Let Ife say hers.
Okay, say yours.
Okay. That's great.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for watching. Bye.